and welcome my fab fans to Glam's new video. I'm gonna be doing coasters. Wow, I don't like that. I need it to be like less bright. It causes line on my screen. My goodness. I was hoping maybe it would make my desk easier to like see on both camera and stuff, but no. No, that was awful. Never again. A lot of the ones in this set were really pretty trees. And they were just rainbows. So these miscellaneous, like, random ones are off-putting to me a little bit. They look like they were put in the wrong set. They just don't match. Don't get me wrong, they're still pretty. They're just not right. I was chased by, I wasn't chased. I had to chase a mouse today. It was I wasn't gonna kill it, and there's plenty other restaurants that it can go to. And it's not like we're dirty, so it won't have a reason to want to come back. And it did run across the street, so maybe it will mess with the people who work at, like, the Chili's or something. Or maybe the Chinese buffet. My friend's saying it's impressive that he can cook with just, whatever and know it will come out good. Welcome to, being poor type shit, because that is exactly how you learn how to cook in the first place. Is either one family member cooks like shit, so you want something that actually tastes good, so you learn how to cook like that, and you don't have access to everything that you would like for a specific recipe, so you just make your own. I did have to take care of my grandmother for like a good year, so I had access to everything in her cabinets and fridge and freezer. And I cooked her meals every single day that were well balanced. They had grains, they had vegetables, and they had a meat dish. I can cook. I just don't. I also know how to make some really advanced dishes. Mainly because of my mother teaching me how to make them when I was young. But I also know what the ingredients taste like individually, because I used to just eat things. I was that weird kid that would just stick things in their mouth that were definitely not supposed to be in my mouth. Like, I ate leaves off of trees. How have I not died of being poisoned? I don't fucking know. But yeah, I cook stir fries most of the time. And I just grab a bunch of random sauces and liquid items out of my cabinets to just, I know what they taste like, but I don't want to name all of them. It's just a bunch of random shit in my cabinets. And I make pretty good stir fries, just from whatever I have. I just throw random shit in a pan that I know tastes good together, and make things, often. I also only buy things that I know taste good together, so I can just switch things up whenever. Though I also just like eating ingredients by themselves. I was that kid who would accept people's raw vegetables at the table because they didn't want to eat them. I was also that kid that, you know how, like, French toast sticks exist? And how they would give you, like, a syrup cup with them for, like, lunch at school? If you don't know, you don't know. If you know, you know. I used to make a hole in the center of the French toast stick, and I used to just fill it with syrup and then just eat it like that. I was also the weird kid that would mix things together because I was proud that I didn't really care what things tasted like, as long as they were sweet enough. I think the irony is, I don't mind trying new things when it comes to food. Because I was always taught food is a safe place by my mom. So I always had food safety, and I was just, like, fully okay with many different things and trying things together. Because I was like, what's the worst that can happen? Me not like it? If I don't like it, I spit out. If I do like it, I keep eating. I know not everyone thinks like that. Some people, they won't even try something if they even slightly assume they won't like it. My best friend's exactly like that. She won't try anything new when it comes to certain things. If it's a specific texture, she won't eat it, no matter what. She won't even try it to see if she likes it. I will say, though, since our taste buds do change every so often, like every few years, well, I think it's every 7 years. It could be more, could be less. I don't know. That's what I was told. I could be wrong about that. But I'm pretty sure, yeah. They change. Maybe not completely, but slightly. So it's always worth giving things a second shot and seeing if you like them. Because when I was a little kid, I used to love orange juice, used to drink it all the time. Then for a good while, when I was a teen, I couldn't even be in the same room as the smell of oranges without getting a migraine. And, well, things happen. this started with me talking about me trying to catch a mouse. By the way, when I caught the mouse, me and my manager, so the way we caught it was I sat in front of the door to make sure it wouldn't crawl underneath the door frame and stuff and escape into the like rest of the restaurant. It went between my knees, under my ass, and while I tried to grab it from underneath me, it hopped over my feet and into the box that she was holding near my ass. It was just under my ass. Something I never thought was a bad word was the word ass. It's a body part, and I was scolded in elementary school for saying ass. But like, it's a body part. Do you want me to say butt? Something that happened in elementary school was during recess, I got locked out of the building. Something I will say, though, is if bad things happen, I bet you're the only one who will really remember if you were directly affected by it. Like, if you get embarrassed in public, you're gonna remember it more than anyone else. And nobody cares. Like, they're too busy worrying about their own shit. There was a woman who got attacked by a snake on a bus. The bus had people. There was plenty of them. Nobody helped her because of the bystander effect. If there's a bunch of people in a room, or if you're in a crowd, chances are you are more likely to not get help at all than if you were just with one other person. Even if that other person is a stranger. Because everyone in their head is thinking, someone else will help them. Someone else will do it. Which is why my mindset is, if you see someone in danger, don't think someone else will do it. Do something. Because chances are nobody else is going to be willing to help. Or if you don't want to help them and you want to force someone to feel the need to do something, you just point at a person being like, are you going to do anything? it will point them out and it will make them responsible. Which is a fucked up thing to do, but like also, if you're disabled and shit, don't try to help someone you won't be able to help someone. Point at someone, point them out in a crowd, make sure they do something. Or point out multiple people and give them specific tasks. Like, you call an ambulance, you call this, you do this. Because that's the only way to really change the bystander effect. To make people not feel the need that someone else is going to do something. Not everyone thinks about how they're affecting others. I do, and my closer friends say I'm a self-sabotager when it comes to things, in a way of I have too much compassion and I'm too forgiving. I'm the type of person who makes too many excuses for other people's behavior. But having anxiety isn't an excuse to treat others horribly. Having depression isn't an excuse to do bad things. If you're going through something, there will be people willing to help. But if you do not actively listen or show, they're eventually gonna give up hope. And people's resolves is only so much. Some people in their depression hurt others more than they think they do. Being upset doesn't mean you should say something that's hurtful, though. And I know in the heat of the moment, when it comes down to things, some people think it's my way of getting my way. But you're not always supposed to have your way. Which is something I had to get the most comfortable with. Like, I'm not always going to be on time for work. Things happen, life is hectic, and things are constantly changing. And I can't predict every little thing that happens. With my anxiety, it gets so bad sometimes that I have full mental breakdowns. And the stem of it is me not knowing what's happening I like having access to information. And when people don't tell me things, it sets off just the balance in my mind. If I don't feel okay or healthy, I don't want to deal with people and their issues. Because I'm not in the right mind space to handle that. And if a person's going to be aggressively forcing their emotional state on you, you do not have to take that. And you shouldn't, because that's unfair to you. You're going through your own stuff. You shouldn't have to be the only person that they constantly bother. And I will say bother. Because as much as most people don't make me angry when they talk to me, the average person, if they talk to me or like hit me up, they don't care if I don't answer. Because they know I'll eventually will. I won't drop a person without telling them why I'm going to stop talking to them and block them and remove them from the groups that I'm a part of. But also a person saying they can't help it but bother me. If I tell a person I'm sick, leave me alone, let me rest, even if I'm slightly active in the chat, even slightly, just reading things or looking over things, my selective mutism makes it so I do not want to physically speak to certain people, even if I'm upset, or even if I'm not upset. If I tell you to leave me alone because I'm sick, and you say you can't help but bother me, you can help. You can stop. Just don't do it. And yeah, I got upset multiple times when people would just not stop. It was like this one guy when he would call me. I wasn't angry at him, I wasn't upset, and I did not want to be on the phone with him because I don't like phone calls. Phone calls make me want to vomit and punch people, but they couldn't text. Yeah, I feel pity for you, but every single time they'd call me, they'd ask me for things. They'd ask me to show up places. I don't have a car. I cannot show up places. And I recently lost my car because my dad decided to take it for the inspection. It had another month on that sticker, by the way. And even if it didn't, last time I made it last over 3 months over the expired sticker without getting bothered. So maybe let it be my problem and not yours. I'm more physically uncomfortable right now than I ever been. I thought, oh, I have a group of great friends and they respect my space and they don't expect anything from me. I don't like it when people ask me for things or expect things from me. I don't expect anything from people other than them to respect my boundaries. 'Cause I will respect theirs. Some people that I've met don't have boundaries that they believe are capable of being respected. And those people clearly don't know that you can be respected and respect others. Or don't know how. That could also be a possibility. If I say I'm sick, leave me alone. I straight up did that to my work before. I told them I'm sick and then just went back to bed. I'm sick, I can't come in. Anyway, back to bed I go. I mean, they covered it. It was fine. And my coworkers know not to fight me on shit like that. I also don't call my workplace when I'm sick. I just text one of the managers that are there. And the reason I text instead of call is because, one, they never answer the phone.
I know they don't. I work there. We don't answer the phone. One of only actually no, two coworkers answer the phone, but they're not always working. Most of the time, we don't answer them. We will let it ring for hours, and the main reason we do and we won't answer is because one, the questions I get asked are usually stupid. Like, so is this on the menu? Look it up online. I promise you, the internet will give you the answers you need. Anyway. Also, apparently some of them think that we can deliver directly from the business. No. We don't have delivery drivers. DoorDash has delivery drivers. That's who usually picks up the food. And Grubhub and Uber Eats. 10 out of 10 would not recommend Uber Eats. It might be cheaper, but I promise you they leave your food there for hours. And it gets cold as hell. And or it's even worse when it doesn't appear in our system, so we don't make it, and then it ends up being the driver showing up, and then we realize, oh shit, there's an order in the system. Uber Eats is not compatible with our system for some reason. We will never see your order.
Right now, I'm still physically ill slightly. It's been a few days. I'm not that bad. It's mainly just allergies kicking my ass. 'Cause my immune system is weak as shit. So, yeah. Yeah. Imagine your immune system being so incredibly weak that just a little bit of pollen just fucks you over for a week straight. I actually don't think I've eaten all day. And it's just because I'm so insanely uncomfortable. Oh, I have not eaten at all today, actually. I'm just thinking back. I woke up, I technically drank some tea, and ate a donut. One donut. That was all I ate today. And it's technically the next day now. All I ate was a fucking donut for a full day? Well, I guess I also drank tons of soda. I was chugging that shit at work. I'm still chugging it, honestly. I will say, though, I am planning a lot of different Chaos Castle videos because I just want to post more chapters. Because soon enough, I will be back in the classes, and I'm actually really excited about starting classes because I'm finally starting psychology. Yes! It's been a while. I was stuck with electives, and I was just, no. I hate electives with a burning passion. I'm going to be learning health psychology. Also, in one of my classes, I talked about how I was a YouTuber, and they were just like, some people were like, that's really cool. I would never thought of the analytics behind it. And another person was like, why do you not talk about, like, psychology on your YouTube channel? And I'm like, would you make your hobby your job? I don't make money off of YouTube. This is a hobby. YouTube is my hobby. I film videos and stuff because I find it really entertaining and I love reading the comments. I genuinely care about all my subscribers and I think y'all are awesome. And I love reading every comment you've ever left, and I actually recognize a bunch of the people who comment, and I do keep in mind past comments that they've made. I also do remember, though, someone who, like, their profile picture was, like, a really attractive woman, and she made a negative comment, and they were like, I don't like you because you're a bitch, but, like, why do you have to be so pretty? Like, and I was just like, nope, this is my channel, I'm gonna delete her comment. You're not allowed to get attention. Even if it's negative attention, I don't want them getting any attention, because this is my channel. I will give my comments attention because they're my commenters and I find y'all awesome. And I do read every single comment that comes through. I genuinely do. I read every single one. Sometimes I won't respond even if it's nice because it's in a different language. And it just feels awkward to me to respond to a person who's speaking a different language to me if I don't know the language. Which is why I'm okay with liking comments that are in Mandarin. Or occasionally I will like a comment in a different language. Because I'm very certain it's compliment. Even, and yes, I know Google, like the translate, it's on YouTube and stuff for the comments, but it's not always accurate. And or sometimes it's gibberish. So something can look like it means something nice, but it actually be an insult. I would love to give you an example of that, but no thank you. Though now I just kind of completely delete comments that are negative in a way. I also just will completely ignore comments that are creepy to me. Not because I'm upset that you gave me a compliment, but because I find compliments slightly uncomfortable if they're, like, about how I look physically. If it's about the character, fully support commenting about the character. But if it's about how I look personally, it will make me slightly uncomfortable because of my dysmorphia. It's not your fault. I appreciate the compliments, but I don't see it, and I don't believe in liking things that I don't like. Like, thanks for the compliment, but I'm slightly uncomfortable. Sometimes I get compliments and they feel like stab wounds. Like, my brain hates that it doesn't fit with my perspective, but it also is like, but my consciousness is like, I appreciate the compliment. It's the two voices in my head, which makes me sound really crazy, but I am, so understandable. I also listen to my family members and friends that are like close by. The longer I know a person, the more likely I am willing to trust their opinion over someone I haven't known for very long. Especially if I know that person is smart. Like my sister-in-law, smartest person I know. I would say my mother is the smartest person I know, but she's a little cuckoo. I love her, but her cuckoo is wild. Also, the amount of upset my mom got when one of my like subscribers was like, yeah, they call me Andy. I don't question it. They know I was born a woman. They know I am one. I'm gender fluid, but that's why I don't really care what pronouns people use for me. But when it's in my mom's context, yeah, I'm a woman. My gender fluidity means I don't really give a shit if I say that. Do I have dysmorphia? Sure as hell. Some days I see my face and I'm just like, damn, I'm a sexy ass man. Then some days I'm like, ooh, look at that booty. I check myself out, yes. And I do flirt with myself. That is also a yes. And then some days I think I look like a fat pig. So that's another thing. And then some days I think I look like skin and bones and I look fragile as hell. So that's also a thing. Not being able to see yourself as the same person every single time you look in the mirror is a wild concept for the average person. But it's also why I'm kind of good at writing stories and why I also like cosplay. Is because it helps me feel less like I need to look a certain way to feel like me. Am I training to be a therapist? Yes. Am I one? No. And guess what? It's illegal for me to practice as a therapist without without a degree in it. Especially a private one. I haven't even done an internship yet for psychology. I will say, though, I don't think I am the right kind of person for a person with depression. I haven't been through the lack of feeling things before. 'Cause I'm constantly feeling too many emotions. And usually they're not mine, but the people I'm around.
Overwhelmingly. Me at the center of it all is calm. I do have anxiety, but like, I'm usually calm because I can talk myself out of things and explain away issues. I can use logic to combat my irrational thoughts. Not everyone can do that. And there was a time where I could not do that. I could not talk myself out of thoughts. I could not rationalize a good reason to not feel them. And I would just be in a panic for hours, crying for hours, without an end or a way to feel better. At the end, I would wear myself out, and then I would just go to bed, and then just be calm the next day. But there was days I felt like I was not loved at all, that nobody cared about me. But the thing is, I've always been loved, and I've always been cared for, and I've always had people there for me to help me with my struggles. Which is really what a person who is sad needs, is just a person who's willing to just be there. But you can't be that person for a person like that if you are not in their vicinity. You can't physically be there. That physical connection is so extremely important. Which is why when I see a person talk about their struggles with depression and self-isolating themselves, it's only going to make things worse. And I get it, not everyone wants to be around a depressed person. But if you never feel supported, you're always gonna just be left behind. And you're always gonna feel isolated. And like, you have to self-isolate so that you don't hurt others. I will say the one thing is, I might never listen to my brother when it comes to advice. But that's only when he's the only person who gives the advice. If I hear advice from multiple people, multiple times, I will act on to the advice. Like when I had to inevitably kick a person out of the group chat. I did not feel the need to until everyone in the group was like, they make me uncomfortable. And we are afraid that they are going to assault you. They feared for my safety. I don't have a sense of danger, which is extremely dangerous. And it's partly because of how naive I can be. But if there's anything I do learn how to do, is listen to my trusted people. I know it seems weird that my ex is one of the people I deeply trust. But I do trust him. I never hated them. I just couldn't physically be attracted to them in the way he did. So I broke it off. Anyway, peace, love, and good night, my Falcons. I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.